You are probably not as good a leader as you think you are. Hey, I am Chuck the bureaucrat, and today what I want to do is I want to highlight a problem that the Army creates for you with its leadership doctrine. Now, let me be clear. The Army's leadership training and development, it is world class. In my case, they took a scrawny, egg-headed country boy and they produced a pretty reasonable colonel. I might never have commanded a brigade, but at the same time, I wouldn't hesitate to. And the reason for my confidence isn't just that they did a good job with me. It's that the Army does a good job developing everybody. From the very first day that a recruit stumbles off the bus at basic, they are learning to lead. At every level, we are taking turns leading and following. We critique each other under all sorts of demanding situations. We learn to lead, and we learn to understand how others lead. I mean, most NCOs are around me for somewhere around 8 seconds before they peg me for a certain type of leader with a set of positive skills and some annoying qualities. And it goes both ways. I mean, there's a certain type of staff sergeant that I would never let the sergeant major see, but at the same time, I definitely want them in charge of particular important missions. I know who you are. So if the Army gets leadership so right, what's the problem? Well, it's that the Army is actually a leadership franchise. It's a large, complex organization that operates under a specific leadership system. And what's more, it inculcates elements of this leadership system into everything it does. These elements become so ingrained and so widely understood that they stop feeling like elements in a system. Think about it like this. Imagine I want to open a hamburger store, say a McDonald's. I could literally take employees from like 15 different McDonald's locations and I could plop them all into a brand new store and they would be up and running in a reasonable amount of time. But if I took those same 15 employees and I brought them together and I said, hey, we are going to start Chuck's Burgers, and what I need you guys to do is get a store operational. Well, it wouldn't go so smoothly because those people would not be able to replicate the support system that's behind McDonald's. And it's even worse because if I said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start Chuck's Crayon Manufacturing Company. Well, those otherwise successful McDonald's employees, they wouldn't be successful at all. That's why I say that the Army is a leadership franchise. I wouldn't hesitate to form a unit by throwing together 150 soldiers who had never seen each other. As long as I got the ranks and the MOSs reasonably close, we would be mission capable in no time. But if I gave them a mission that fell outside what their leadership franchise was designed to do, say a hamburger stand or a crayon manufacturing company, I wouldn't be so confident of success. And I know what you're saying. You're thinking, come on, Chuck, you give me 150 American soldiers and I will have your crayon factory up and running in no time. You're probably right. But what if I didn't give you 150 soldiers, and instead what I gave you was 150 card-carrying members of the American Crayon Manufacturers Union? You might run into some roadblocks that you don't even see coming, and that's why military transition can be so difficult. We tend to overestimate our individual leadership skill, and that creates the risk of underperforming for our future civilian bosses. And don't get me wrong, each of us is individually a better leader because of our military service. But a portion of our leadership success is due to the people around us who are all operating under that same leadership system. So what do? Well, don't panic. You're still you, and you're still awesome. But I think it would be wise to communicate a certain degree of humility if you're taking on a leadership role inside of a civilian organization. Something like this. I've grown a lot as a leader in the Army, but that's a unique environment, and I'm sure that your organization has its own special challenges that'll be new to me, but I'm looking forward to learning to understand them and continuing to grow. Look, at the end of the day, the U.S. military accomplishes amazing things because it takes high-quality people and it teaches them a leadership system that has been honed for decades. And just understanding that that system of leadership is actually a franchise, it increases our credibility as leaders. Now, if you want to look at something else that is absolutely core to our military success, but not always well understood, check out this video about the Army Combat Fitness Test.